going to give an in-depth rundown on my truck, I guess, you know, an in-depth walk around, I guess you could say, of the actual components that went into solid axling this truck. It's a Dana 44 out of a 77 Ford F-150. It is converted to 6 lug. We swapped everything. When I say we, I swapped everything from the knuckles out to Chevrolet to make it 6 lug, as I said. So, and that consisted of using the outer knuckles and, you know, from the knuckles out, and also the stub shafts. And we've got Warren locking hubs, and I wanted to go in more in depth about the actual knuckle swapping from Ford knuckles to Chevrolet. Literally everything from here outwards comes off of a Chevrolet axle. What I did was I got one off Facebook Marketplace for $100 that I got my knuckles, my backing plates, you know, my hubs, the hub bearings, the whole shebang I got for $100. And pretty much from here that way is Ford, you know, and from this outer stub knuckle this way, you know, ball joints and all, you know, it's Chevrolet. And obviously the ball joints are interchangeable between Ford and Chevrolet, but either way. And that is what actually swapped it over to 6 lug. This is a 83 Chevrolet knuckle out conversion, you could say. So after I re-geared the axle and had me a 6 lug 77 Dana 44 ready to go, I had to figure out how I was going to actually mount it to the truck. And obviously I ran with leaf springs, and this is a Sky Off-Road Design. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Sky Off-Road Design 36.5-inch spring hanger, and it can be used with 47 or 52-inch springs, or 63. It depends, you know, you just have to stretch your frame out a little bit. Got a little mud caked up in there, but as y'all can see, that's the actual frame of the truck. And you see I gusseted it, but I also put this 1/2-inch steel in here just to brace up this leaf spring hanger, and I also put these little plates in. And this right here was a 1/4 inch thick, and now it's 3/8. No, it's a little bit over 3/8. It's 3/8 plus 1/4. But yeah, I ran this 1/2-inch plate all the way across the full top of the actual leaf spring hanger, and hopefully that added a lot of rigidity. Some people say that isn't a word, but hopefully it added a lot of rigidity when I did that. And here's the rear shackle and shackle hanger that comes along with that kit. And all you do is, you know, you just weld it straight to your frame. And then from there, I mounted the leaf springs on. The actual leaf spring hanger. And then, you know, from the leaf springs, you got to have a way to mount it on the axle. And this was a wedged axle, you know, it has little wedges you cut off. If you're watching this video, you probably know what I'm talking about. Maybe not. But so I had to find some leaf spring perches, and these I found off, I think, eBay. Yeah, I think it was eBay. And either way, they're ballistic fabrication boxed leaf spring perches. I mean, these things are made out of 1/4 inch steel, and you know, obviously they're boxed and they're super strong, and that's what you know, they were $15 more than standard ones, so I figured, you know, why not? And the axle tube is a 2.75, you know, 2 3/4 axle diameter. So I ordered some U-bolts from WFO. And my Panhard bar is a Sky Off-Road Design Panhard bar. It's like $179, and it is beefy, and it is the way to go. And as y'all can see, it just has a bracket that welds right on the frame, and the bar runs down to the 2 tabs you weld on top of your leaf spring plates. I guess that's what those are called. And for the steering, it is a WFO 6-inch drop Pitman arm. And then I got their full kit. It is a Dana 44 1-ton drag link and tie rod kit, and it comes with all the ends and everything. It's nice, big, and beefy. It's like 1 3/4 inches, I want to say. It's some thick DOM tubing. Like I said, it came with the ends. It's just all around a good kit. And then also I got, this is a WFO product. It is their 4-stud, I think it's the 6-inch version, downward taper steering arm, and it fit on flawlessly. And this is what I actually had to use to ream it out. I believe the part number is GM 1-ton, and that's from Barnes 4-wheel drive. And one of my favorite parts about the build is the frame plates that I added. As y'all can see, if y'all know what y'all are looking at, that frame plate looks so much better than, you know, the little dimples that this frame has in it. And you know, it just, you put your 3 bolts in your steering box and you go to welding, and the other side just slides over even easier. And I also got my shock hoops from WFO. I want to say they're something like maybe a 16-inch shock hoop or something from here to here. I don't know, something. And for lower shock mounts, I just used these that WFO had on their website. And for shocks, I'm just running these Pro Comp ES 9000s. I think these are like 28 inches fully extended, and the backs are 32, and I think they're both 18 inches compressed. Pro Comp ES 9000s. And for brake lines, it's Off-Road Designs, I want to say. And you know, it's a kit, and it goes straight to these brake calipers, and it retrofits them straight to my truck, and it you know, it fits all these OBS trucks. You know, just a banjo bolt. And it was a kit, and it was literally plug and play, one of the easiest installs on this build. And here's another shot of the brake line kit that I got. It's stainless steel, rubber coated, from Off-Road Design. It's a great kit. What? This thing has a front drive shaft? You know, it's just the stock Dana 44 yoke that's actually on the axle, and this is just the stock drive shaft. And you know, at full droop there was a little bit of binding issues on this end, so actually it was on that end, so I took a die grinder to it, and hey, it works. But you know, it was plug and play again, you know, but it worked. And you know, I feel like the high pinion had a lot to do with that. If it was a low pinion on the other side and I swapped the transfer case, I don't think this drive shaft would have worked. The slip amount wouldn't have been enough. But you know, it's great. I can't believe it actually worked. And while we're on the topic about the drive shaft, you know, your exhaust has to clear the actual drive shaft, and it has to have enough travel upwards to where you can flex up, but it has to have enough clearance so that, you know, it's not rubbing on the bottom of your bell housing cover. Bell housing cover. And you know, so I tried to get some bent pipe and do it that way, but I quickly figured out that was not the way. The way to do it is you have to do these things called pie cuts. You know, it's a fairly common practice. And you know, it looks like a little lobster's back. I love it. But you know, it helps you get tight bends, but still have the same amount of, you know, airflow or exhaust flow, same volume. And so that's what helped me out right here to get enough clearance. And then also we turned it back right here, and then this one's just 45 down and straight back and out. And this is just a stock cross member, and as y'all can see, I notched it out so whenever, you know, it droops all the way, it wouldn't be hitting that little ridge right there, and you know, obviously I cut it out, and what you take out you need to put back twice as much, really. So I put this 1/4" plate right here on this side, and this 1/4" plate right here, and this 1/4" plate right here, just to give the strength back to that, because I mean, that's your transmission mount. It's got to have strength, you know, and it's not a full custom one, but it's modified. And then with the transfer case little guard, it's a little aluminum cover. I just, instead of it being right there pointing backwards, I welded me some nuts up in there, and the bolts just screw right in, and it's super easy to check that fluid. You might have seen it in the video before, but this is a hoop cross member, and all it is I cut this big old hook looking thing out of some 1/2" plate, and I tacked it on there and then cut out the center and took it out and welded it up, and it works great. And that's so the drive shaft can flex down, but I would like to put a strap across there just so if the drive shaft does fall, it has something to rest on so it doesn't drag on the road. And the shocks in the rear is, you know, like I said, I think they're 32 inches extended and 18 compressed, and I just use the stock mounting points on both sides. You might have noticed these little air filters on where my breathing tubes on my differentials used to be. Well, I put those there as just a little, you know, a little showpiece kind of, but you know, instead of having that ugly breathing tube hanging down, it's got a little filter. In the back, this is a WFO product. This is their shackle flip kit, and it says that it adds 5 inches of lift. I feel like it adds more. And you know, whenever you add that kit in, it shims your rear end back up, so your drive line, your pinion and your drive shaft, your drive line angle is a lot straighter than if you didn't have a shackle flip kit. And you know, along with the shackle flip kit in the rear, I had these 2-inch blocks that I added in. So I'm running blocks and I'm running WFO's shackle flip kit. And these are the 6-inch shackles instead of the 5. If you care. For tires, we're running 37, 13, 50, 20 Toyo Open Country MTs. And for wheels, we have 20x12 Vision Prowler, -51 offset, and they're 6 lug. And before I bought any parts for actually putting the axle up under the truck, I had to build the axle, you know. And you know, I re-geared it with Yukon Gear and Axle 373 gears. It has stock inner axles, and pretty much everything's stock, except, you know, is not. Y'all please excuse the mud, but it's just a stock 350 TBI with a 4L60E. Everything's fairly stock except for maybe the air cleaner and the headers. And obviously I've got header tape on it. And yeah, it's all fairly stock. Oh, it has a throttle body spacer on it, you know. Cause you know, y'all, that's a mod. And for rock lights, we're just running the eBay special. I think it was maybe 60 bucks for 8 of them, and I have them on all 4 corners and all 4 wheel wells. Along with the rock lights, I have these LED pods. If this ain't your girl's favorite OBS truck, it's about to be. We got the Starlit headliner that changes to her favorite color. Baby girl usually likes it on that teal. I just like that white. Let's see. There it is. And if y'all are looking into something like this, Rolls-Royce of Atlanta is the people to talk to. And for headlights, we just got them eBay specials and them eBay special LED switchbacks. And everything's eBay. This is a stock grill painted black with some gutter guard as a mesh grill with a white bow tie. We painted the stock one. And this bumper, I got lucky, actually came on it. It don't have none of the holes. Along with the back bumper. It's just a beautiful bumper. Pretty much the whole interior stock except for the audio system. You know, we have the door speakers. We cut the doors so we could fit the 6.5s in there. And then we also have the flip out unit. It's nothing fancy. It just pretty much flips out and tells you you're playing music, and you can pause it there. We also have 112 in the back with a 400 watt amp. Nothing too special. You can feel it. That's about it. As y'all can see, the seat's probably the worst part about the truck. I'm actually looking for probably some SS seats that came out of a Camaro or something that along the lines of that that's heated, and both electric. So if you know where some seats are, drop a comment below. And oh god, he's got them tow mirrors. But these are just the eBay special, and we actually put filler primer on them. When I say we, I mean I put filler primer on them and then painted them black, and they didn't turn out how I would like them to, but they're alright. They alright for now. I'd like to thank y'all for watching, and y'all like, comment, and subscribe. It doesn't cost y'all a dime. Thank y'all so much, and y'all have a good night.